Both of you have been talking to, all of our partners and stuff like that. Seems like there's some excitement building up around it, but the plan is, kind of early on in that week for PickleCon to just seriously have the biggest party in the history of pickleball right in downtown Kansas City.
But the suit needs to be either more of like a track suit or it needs to be like the tearaways, because I'm going to have to be able to change quickly into game attire so I can hop on that court and play.
That is, there would be no party. There would be none of that without the customers. So that's really where it all stems. And we're excited, to be there, talk to these guys about paddles.
What's up, guys? Welcome to this episode of Zero Start Podcast. Joined with my buddy always, Jason Schultz, and a special guest today. We don't get him on very often, but we love when we have him. CEO Just Paddles, Andrew Dowis. Thank you guys for joining us here today. We're going to talk about something that I think could be one of the coolest things in pickleball of the year and moving forward, something that could totally change going to an event. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about it. You guys have certainly heard about it. PickleCon. You guys familiar with PickleCon?
Very,
very familiar.
And so for those of you who don't know, this thing is going to be, and forgive me, I'm going to go off in left field here, because when I hear the word con at the end of that, it's like, what do I think of? Like Comic-Con, and I think of all these like superhero things. These are the most like rabid people that are involved or in this whatever activity it might be. So this is the first year I think we're going to feel it out, and it's going to be an amazing event. But could this thing be the new where people are coming dressed as pickles or coming dressed as pickleballs? But what it is it's supposed to be one of the biggest events ever in pickleball history. It's going to be held in one of the best tourist cities in the world, which is obviously Kansas City, Missouri.
Our backyard.
And then presented by Triple Crown Sports. It's going to be August 8th through 11th. We'll go through some of the specifics in a little bit, but what are you guys' initial thoughts when you hear PickleCon and you hear all of the energy and all of the everything that's being put into this? 100 plus courts, thousands of players, dozens and dozens of booths, and a huge facility. What are your guys' first thoughts when you hear like PickleCon is coming to pickleball?
If you like pickleball at all, maybe you play once a week, maybe you play once a month, maybe you play 7 times a week, this is an event that you want to be at. I think if you love anything about pickleball, this event is going to resonate with you beautifully.
Yeah, and I think they picked the perfect city, like you said. I think Kansas City is like a really good spot for it. We got a tournament that same weekend, right? So that'll be cool. Everybody who's anybody in the pickleball world should be in Kansas City that weekend.
Is there going to be matched energy of hearing the venue is going to have over 100 courts? I went to the USAPA Nationals in 2017, and I want to say it's like 35 courts in the venue that they had it in, and this is outside. And from a half mile away, when we parked in the parking lot, we could hear the undeniable noise of pickleballs happening. What is 100 courts full of 400 players going to sound like?
It's going to be loud. That's for sure. Triple Crown also hosts a volleyball tournament. And it's actually at the same facility, and it just happened not too long ago. And as we were walking through and kind of joking around, volleyball is very loud as well. You get a lot of the whistles and you get the girls screaming. We were trying to decide, if the volleyball event or the pickleball event would actually be louder. I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50.
Yeah. You'll be driving downtown Kansas City and you see, the Comic-Con or the volleyball thing. And it's wild. There's so many people walking around. It's always, great event for Kansas City. So I'm anxious to see what pickleball brings. But you toured it, you said, right?
Yeah.
And what do you think? 100 courts, how's this going to go down?
It's going to be wild. It's going to be packed. It's going to be anything you could want about pickleball. There'll be different vendors there. All the different activities from lessons to playing in tournaments, demoing paddles, like that's all going to be options that you can do at this event, which is going to be so cool.
It's wild.
Yeah. And there's going to be so many different vendors there. Like you're going to get not only are they going to have the vendors, and this is sneak peek information, I won't tell you which one we talk to, but they're going to have paddles that hopefully we get to showcase that aren't even out, that are in development in their research development department that you won't see until 2025. So I feel like every vendor is going to feel the energy and like feel the pressure to be the best and just come with like the best booth that they can come with, right? Like you don't see all of your buddies coming to something. It's like the guys who do the draft, the NFL or the NFL fantasy draft, and they come dressed up all in suits. It's like, well, if Schultz is coming in a suit, I'm going to buy a nicer one and come in a suit. So I feel like the vendor booths are going to be like next level too. On top of the competition, going to be great. But what I really thought was cool is like, we know Florida kills it with pickleball. We know Arizona. We know California. We know Texas. I love that they are having it in Kansas City because Kansas City is like a sleeper city for pickleball. It's got several chicken and pickles that are always slammed. It's got courts. And believe it or not, like for a Midwest city, pretty good weather a lot of the year. So it's one of those sleeper cities that has just a ton of players. So it's going to be kind of fun to see the Kansas City players showcase their skills, right? Because I got a feeling that there's going to be people from all over the country coming to this event, but Kansas City is going to represent really well.
I agree. Yeah, that's definitely the goal. Is there should be people there from all over, ready to play and participate in this event. I'm sure there will be a giant presence from people from Kansas City because that's where we're at, and the Kansas City pickleball scene is great and still booming like crazy. So definitely be a good representation from Kansas City there for sure.
It's going to be fun to watch this whole play out. I don't mean 100 courts. They must be expecting 1,500, 2,000 players, which we all do the same thing. What do you do the first time you're like, I got a match at 6? You're like, babe, can you come and bring all the kids? So there's going to be, there could be potentially thousands of people walking through this place on a Saturday afternoon, a Friday evening, or when the finals of the big events happening. It's going to be, I'm trying to think of another event that we can compare this to. And there's obviously the PPA and the MLP, the APP, WPT. They all run awesome events. The US Open of Pickleball, I feel like might be the one that we can compare most closely in just sheer size and energy. I don't know if you guys feel different, but this one feels like it's just going to be different.
Yeah, I would agree. I think I don't think there's going to be anything that you can compare to it. I think it's going to be an event that stands on its own and has its own differences that just separate it. I think it'll be different.
What are you coming dressed as, Jason? So we'll give you the first year off because you don't know. Like, you don't want to be the guy that comes in a suit and everyone else is in a t-shirt and shorts. Next year, PickleCon 2025, when the real ones come out and they're ready to dress however they want to dress, typical con style. What are you coming as?
Well, I feel like I need like an all white suit, but with like pickleballs on it. But the suit needs to be either more of like a track suit or it needs to be like the tearaways, because I'm going to have to be able to change quickly into game attire so I can hop on that court and play. I can't have the suit limiting my mobility or anything like that, but I think that would be the correct look.
It was like a la Lloyd Christmas and Dumb and Dumber. It's like I went there. So I feel like that fits. That's like perfect.
That'd be pretty good. I could be the other one. You pick Lloyd. I'll be Harry.
Yeah.
And we'll just wear those suits.
That'd be perfect.
It's very fitting. Very fitting, I think, too.
I love that you know his name. And that actually, if this actually comes to fruition, the pickleball version of Dumb and Dumber, and I'm not saying like that, but that would actually be hilarious if you came to PickleCon dressed as those guys with a pickleball twist to it. I think we're onto something.
Yep.
I think we would go viral like instantly. Everybody in pickleball would know the Dumb and Dumber guys just like that.
Yeah. Wouldn't be much acting on my part. We could nail that really easy. So is it the hype guys or those guys that go to all the tournaments. It
Yeah.
feels like they'd be good like stylists to
Yep.
hire for what we want to wear for the
I agree.
PickleCon event.
They pull out some good outfits
Yeah.
on the side of the court. So yeah, that might be some good people to reach out to
That's
for some pointers.
Yeah, let's do that.
I mean-
Here's our call out right now. If you guys are watching this, hit us up. We need advice on what to wear to PickleCon. So let us know.
And the best part is even if they're not watching it, the beauty of social media is I'm going to tag them and add them as a collaborator, so they're going to be forced to see it. So they're
I
watching.
like it.
They're going to be
I
watching.
like it. It's awesome.
That's to that point. I'm curious, what is it going to look like? Like, how many are there going to be top level players? Are there going to be some, what do the events go up to? What do they go down to? Are there going to be pro players there? Are the hype guys going to be there in the stands? The fact that this thing is being planned a year in advance is telling me that there's a lot more thought behind it than just a typical event.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, there'll be different levels of play. They'll obviously have, mixed and men's and women's doubles and that type of thing. And they'll have all the different levels, 5-0, 4-5. So it'll be inclusive for everybody. The cool thing is the PPA Kansas City is going on that same week. So again, everybody that is in pickleball, all the pro players, they'll already be here in Kansas City. It'd be just a great weekend in general. You're hitting up PickleCon, you can go check out PPA. I mean, might be the most ultimate pickleball weekend ever.
Yeah, and I think some people thought, oh, is there going to be issues because there's the tournament going on, PPA event going on with PickleCon? Just paddles. We love it. I mean, get everybody in this city that's involved with pickleball that we can, and all come together and make the game better and all those things. I mean, I am all for it. So get everybody here. I think it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
What's cool about that too is like the PPA obviously has a big drive to their tournaments. A lot of people show up to watch the pros. The pros are all the top pros, not all, but many of the top pros will be there. Then you have PickleCon. When you go to this happens with my sons. Like, I'll call South Haven, Mississippi, the Dizzy Dean World Series. It's like, oh no, all the hotels in the entire town of South Haven are booked because of this tournament. And I know Kansas City is obviously a lot bigger than that. But it would be cool if it was like one of those events where like the local businesses are like, they see a little boost because there's an extra, 4,000 or 5,000 people in the city ready to spend and stay in the hotels. And it feels like that. Like that's a possibility for like the first time in pickleball.
Yep. Well, and Ben, like just to kind of frame it in, we've with the Chiefs and even the Royals, not too long ago, we've had some success. Our soccer teams have been pretty good. So as a sports town, we've kind of grown and stuff like that. And the Kansas City Sports Commission, they do a great job bringing all these events and stuff to the city. They held a press conference, to talk about PickleCon. They did it at Chicken and Pickle. So, I mean, it's on the scale of all these other types of things all these other type of events, parades, things like that they're planning. They thought it was important enough to have a press conference for it. So it's obviously a big deal in Kansas City. And I think we're going to show out and, show that we're kind of the pickleball capital of the world.
Which that's pretty wild to think about. Cause like you said, I mean, especially with the Chiefs as of late, the dynasty were like, I mean, they're like the best team in the whole world. For them to hold a press conference on like pickleball too, that a pickleball tournament is coming to town. That's awesome. Like that's like next level stuff.
Yeah. And we've got the World Cup coming to Kansas City in 2026. They, press conference for those type of things. I mean, this is legit, it's going to be really awesome. I'm excited. And I think Kansas City, like I said, is perfect place to do the first one.
We're slowly removing ourselves from a flyover city.
There you go. That's right.
I tell you what though, like it's Kansas City. That's probably like what I'm most excited about this event is like pickleball's awesome, or the PPA is awesome. PickleCon's going to be killer. But I love the fact like when I go up there with you guys and you're like, let's go to this, this barbecue place, and then we're going to go to this place, and then you go every place you go to. It's just, I don't know. I'm excited for people to like go to Kansas City, some that haven't been there, and just like get a feel for it because it's a great place. So let's turn our attention to something that I think we're probably, if everybody getting a taste of Kansas City is number 2, this is number 1. On like how excited are we to host what we're calling, and I can't imagine we're wrong, the biggest party in pickleball.
pretty excited to do that. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be in our backyard. I feel like we have to deliver and throw a really big party for all of our vendors and key people in the space. I know both of you have been talking to all of our partners and stuff like that. Seems like there's some excitement building up around it, but the plan is kind of early on in that week for PickleCon to just seriously have the biggest party in the history of pickleball right in downtown Kansas City. We've got a pretty cool event in mind that we've had discussions around, and we have an event planner, a company planning this event for us, and still in the early stages, but we're pretty excited. I mean, if you know anything about our company and what we've done in the baseball space and what we like to do for our employees, this is just what we do. We like to take care of our people and have a lot of fun. It's one of our core values. So we're going to continue that with this event, and hopefully a ton of people flood the city and all those things, and all the key people in the space come and have a good time with us. So I know, Jason, what else? What am I leaving out?
Yeah, I mean, just the way we operate things, it's going to impress. We don't take anything lightly. We do everything to the max and the best that it's possible. So, I mean, it's going to blow people's socks off.
What's exciting is like we're not there yet with the signing on the dotted line for the location, but we're close. We're not yet ready quite yet for the day, but we're probably close. Yep. So this all kind of just builds the momentum into us being able to tell it. And what we're excited about is like to show you what we do. And this event is going to be for, vendors and pro players. But to me, it's like, it's no different than how we treat our customers anytime they order, right? We try to treat them to the same level, right? Like, we're going to get your order out the same day, and we're going to get it out, immediately and packaged right, and customer service through the roof. So it's exciting to be able to send that information with a follow-up episode where we can show the venue, and you guys are going to be there with us via social media. We're going to be there posting live videos and posting stuff. So I'm pumped. And without spilling too much info, Andrew, you already said it, but we have an event planner. Like this is like more than anything. This is like more than my wedding. Like we didn't do half this much for Jason. You're engaged and you're going to get married. Don't bring her to this event, because this is like,
or just do it at this event. That would be kind of cool.
That's actually not a bad idea.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I mean,
this is really building into something. I feel like this might be like an off-air conversation, but it is that level of a party that we're gonna throw, and just I think it's gonna be insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the only way we know how to do stuff, so it's so natural to us to go big and to try to blow everybody's minds and all those things. The venue, even when the event people kind of brought it up, I kind of laughed on the side. I was like, yeah, right, that's never gonna happen. And then like the next day they're like, well, this looks like this could happen. And it's hard to like blow my mind. And I was like, whoa, texting everybody. So we're pretty pumped for it. And yeah, it should be a really good time. And like on the customer side, you mentioned, we're going to be at the PickleCon event at the event center the whole week. Right. And we'll have a booth there. Come by. We're going to have all of our employees, there, come by, say hi. You probably will recognize some of the people from the podcast or social media, but we'll be there to answer any questions, let you learn a little bit more about our brand and all those types of things. I mean, we're going to be totally locked in the whole week. So hit us up on social or anything if you want to talk or swing by and just hang out with us for a while at the booth. It'll be cool too.
That's going to be one of the most fun parts too, because we're not just going to do the standard booth. We're going to extend that and do some fun things, possibly like a treasure hunt around the event for prizes. And but what I like about it is like face to face, right? You order on any website. It's cool to get to know the people that you're ordering from and like show that we care about you, and hopefully you guys like chatting with us. But yeah, the booth is going to be awesome. I think that's like, I know the party's your wheelhouse, Andrew, like that's your thing. And like, maybe I fill the hole, and like the booth is like my wheelhouse, where I enjoy talking to all the people that come up. So I think just the energy in general is going to be like through the roof from Wednesday to Sunday night. I think it's just going to be like bananas, and something that if you miss PickleCon 2024, you're going to be like, I should have done it, and now I gotta make the next one.
Yeah, and we're gonna like post everything after and rub it in your face if you miss it. So just be ready. Like it's gonna be full on like social media blast. You're gonna be jealous. So just be ready for that if you miss it. We're not above that
So
here. Sorry. You might think we are, but we're not.
Well, and that being said, we'll plan on seeing everybody, and there's going to be like fire code violations and huge crowds that we can't control in the PickleCon. So thanks, Andrew, for that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the PickleCon staff is totally pumped about that.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, going back to the booth thing, Ben, that is, I mean, there would be no party. There would be none of that without the customers. So that's really where it all stems. And we're excited, to be there, talk to these guys about paddles. If you have questions, what's new, what new paddle brands are coming out, all those different things. We'll be able to answer all those questions. Swing by, get to meet some nice people. I mean, seriously, that's what it's all about, at the end of the day. So we're just so lucky that people come to our website and tune into things like this. So, and we're just regular people. That's what we kind of want to show everybody. We did that on the bat and glove side for so many years, and we're getting the opportunity to do it on the pickleball side now. But swing by, talk to the people behind all this, and just right up here in Kansas City. So yeah, it'll be awesome.
And if don't swing by, if you walk anywhere near our tent, I'm gonna pull you in like the island people at the mall, like the people that are in the island companies. I'm talking about in the middle of the mall, that are like, try this.
Oh, yeah.
You're coming in. Yeah, don't get close. Yeah. You're coming in.
I do believe that. I can see this happening. But that's good.
Well, that's good. What I'm pumped, and the best part is of releasing this podcast in March is the tournament is in August. So we got multiple more opportunities to drop more information, because as this thing gets closer, like you mentioned, Jason or Andrew, we're pretty much in the early stages, but this thing's coming together quick and they're throwing it big. So the more specifics that come out and get locked in, we'll keep them pumping to you guys. So it makes your decision to come to the event that much easier.
Yeah. Start blocking off your calendars for the August 8th through 11th date range in Kansas City. Start finding those flights, start looking at hotels. You got time. So start preparing now and hop on it.
And if you need a custom suit with pickleballs, you better, now that one you might want to get on like immediately.
I might need to make some calls right after this.
All right, guys. Thanks for the time today.
Thanks.
See ya.